Well, good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox, you're on the panel tonight as the one and only Bridgeman. And bringing up the rear is Fox. He's busy for the next few minutes, but he'll be with us shortly. How are we doing, Bridge?
Oh, excellent, pal. Excellent. Buzzing for tomorrow night. I'm really looking forward to it. What about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. A good test for us, mate. All these games are just a wee bit step up for the qualifiers, and we'll see where it takes us. By the way, talking about tomorrow night, there's still hundreds of tickets left, mates. People get a chance to get along there, get their friends and family, maybe don't get it, or can't manage to get tickets for other games. There's some there for you to get, Bridge.
Absolutely, bud. Absolutely. Can I just say a big good evening to Foxy in the background there? Huge good evening to the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
I could hear it in your voice, mate. That's just that wee bit of excitement, mate.
It's there.
We're going to be talking about tomorrow night's game, just to calm you down. And then we're going to be talking about the cluster that is Scottish football. Eh? And I just want you to watch your P's and Q's when we go into that, the Bridge. Yeah?
They'll be well watched.
All right. P's and Q's. Right, if people want to join us, what's the number?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. We'll be gladly on the call and we can talk about all things Rangers related. But more importantly, tomorrow night's game, maybe player selection, here for the manager after that. And then we'll be talking about Bridges' favourite subject. So, fifth home game, Europe, already in October, considering we never played that many when we won the Cup Winners' Cup, mate, at home.
Aye.
But fifth home game in Europe. Are they the best team we've played? I don't think so. I think Villarreal would be the best team we've played. So if we play, we've got a chance, Bridge.
I can't disagree with you that in all probability Villarreal may in fact be the best team that we'll play. But I'm not trying to. I wouldn't take anything away from this team. They're a good name. They're like Rangers. They've been around the European scene for a long time, and they've been a good side and sometimes a great side. And we're going to be up against it no matter who we play. Because at this level, I'm afraid that the teams are all quite good. There's no doubt about that. Some of them very good. I thought Villarreal in the first 20 minutes against us were outstanding, in my opinion. Outstanding.
Nice football, mate. Nice football.
Absolutely beautiful football. No doubt about that.
Talking about people who have been round the block for a few times. We've been joined by GFK. How are we doing, GFK?
He's round a big block, him. Good evening, Jimmy.
Hello. I was doing a bridge there.
Look, he's got a... He knows the technical terms.
Oh,
absolutely.
Definitely. How you doing, guys? All right?
All right, mate. All right. We're looking forward to tomorrow night's game. You looking forward to it, GFK?
Oh, definitely. I'll be in my usual place tomorrow, Ox. Just like to say hello to Bridge, yourself, Fox, and all the bears out there listening, and then all the guys in the lobby. Oh, definitely, mate. I'm really looking forward to it. You know, but we should be under the illusions that I know this team, Rapids, had a poor start at the league and they've sacked their manager, but I think it'll be a fantastic game. These are the nights that we've been dreaming about for 7 years. Under the floodlights at Ibrox on a European night. Can't wait. I'm buzzing, man. I just can't wait till tomorrow. Putting the Hearts game in the back of my head there, but I'm really buzzing for tomorrow night, Ox. I think it's going to be a cracking game. It'll be interesting to see what kind of team we put out tomorrow. You know, I listened to that. I was listening to Mark Walters last night and my internet cut off, so I couldn't get back in even to a wee chat with, but I archived it and listened to it today. So a lot of good comments last night, guys. But we're all, well, talk about Graham. I think me and him are buzzing, but he's drew the good straw tonight. He's away to see ELO tonight at the Hydro in Glasgow, but he's away as a VIP.
Oh,
what
happened there? What happened there? How did we not get tickets for that? ELO.
ELO. I have to admit, ELO is my brother-in-law's favourite band, you know, and he came up through, like myself, through the 60s. But when they heard ELO singing, they thought, this is just fabulous, you know. And they were a good band.
He wouldn't even get his old dad a freebie either. Him and his workmates get freebies.
He wouldn't have known who ELO was, would he?
No, well, they phoned me if his work says, Dad, who's ELO? So he says, there's a guy getting about here with long hair and the big round glasses. Where he says, that's Jeff Lynn, son. He says, well, we've all been given free passes and that VIP behind stage and all that. Can you not get me one? No, you're on the radio tonight. I said, it's okay, that's a better thing to be doing.
Aye, well. Sorry.
Well, I don't know.
Give him some Mr. Blue Sky Bridge.
Mr. Blue Sky.
There you go.
So like the Bridges man there, I'm buzzing for the Morocks. You know, it's a great night. Looking forward to it. You know, it's very very near a sellout. So I'm really it'll be interesting to see. Can I just give him the team? I think they might play tomorrow, guys. Is that all right?
No, it isn't all right.
No,
it isn't all right. I'll tell you why.
Why?
I'll tell you why. If you go and mute, we'll hear from your manager. He'll use some clues, and then we can name our teams. How does that grab you, GFK?
Oh, that grabs me all the way, pal.
All right, let's go and mute, and let's hear from your manager, Stephen Gerrard, MBE.
Rapid Vienna and the threat that they will pose your team. Well, they're a good team, a very good team technically. We expect a reaction from them because they've just appointed a new manager, a good manager who's got his team second in the league before he moved to Rapid. So normally at any club, if you get a new manager, you get that fresh start as a player, as a group. So we expect a very strong Rapid Vienna performance. In terms of tactics and how they're going to approach it, it's very difficult to judge. We've done some work on his previous team, and we've obviously covered a lot of Rapid Vienna's games as well, but it's a difficult one to judge where I'm sitting because I'm not sure whether he has took full control, whether he's letting his assistants take some responsibility. He's only had one training session yesterday and he's got one tonight, but I'm not sure he'll do anything tactical tonight. So the players are going to have to think fast on their feet and be prepared to maybe adapt as we go.
Is that the same for you as well? Maybe get an idea of the first 10-15 minutes and see.
Yeah, well, I'm well aware of all their players individually in terms of strengths and weaknesses, and I've seen Rapid at the best and I've seen them at the worst. So I don't think anything's going to change dramatically, but a new manager coming in is well entitled to change the formation or personnel or game plan, and because we haven't seen them play under this new manager, it's a difficult one to judge right now. But yeah, of course, staff and players will have to be really quick on our feet tomorrow and be aware.
You've given yourself a good foundation in the group with an away point. How important is it to pick up on that and carry on?
Yeah, very important. We're looking for a win tomorrow, and it puts us in a really strong place. But we also respect this team. They've got very, very good players. Out wide and in midfield positions and up front, they're very capable of hitting us if we're not right. So this is a level that we all wanted to be involved in and judge ourselves against, and I think it's a fantastic challenge and opportunity for me players to show Rapid how good of a team we are here at home. Again, the responsibility lies on us in terms of getting the crowd going. It's another full house. So we can't wait for the game to start, and we've paid more attention to ourselves rather than the opposition in terms of how we want it to look, and we're looking for a strong performance and a reaction from the weekend. Yes, it's a great game for the players. As I say, it's a full house. The fans have really enjoyed this European journey that we've been on, and again, it's another chance to. When you're drawn in these groups, it's important that you try and take full points, especially at home, and hopefully we can do it with a strong performance because we've performed ever so well here so far this season.
Stephen, you said a couple of weeks ago that the league is a priority this season. Given Sunday's result, you've got Hearts this weekend. How does this game fit into that, and how do you manage the squad and looking ahead to the weekend?
I think the league's always been the priority for many years, even before I came in, and I'm not going to change that, of course. So it remains the priority. But we're Rangers, and we want to win every game we play in. We've put an awful lot of effort and hard work into getting to this stage. So the last thing we're going to do is give up on it or disrespect it where we are. I think it's a great stage for the players, for myself, the club, the fans, and we want to make the most of it. And the challenge for us when we seen the draw made is, can we get out the group? But to do that, we have to take each game as it comes. And you know, Rapid at home, with all due respect, they're a very good team, but we want to take maximum points. Nothing to add from the weekend. No fresh injury problems. Lee Wallace has picked an injury up in training, but he wasn't in the Livingston squad. He's got a grade 1 groin strain, so he'll be a couple of weeks, which is disappointing because you know he was looking better and better each day, so that'll set him back a short while. Besides that, there's nothing new to add.
Ryan, what's the prognosis been? Ryan Jack?
Ryan Jack, possibility he might be in the 18 tomorrow. If not, he'll be in the 18 at the weekend.
Think of 3 defeats in a row for them. Just as a lack of confidence, maybe going into this, and they have an early one Europa League in terms of the league form. Do you capitalise maybe on a lack of confidence from their side?
We'll try. We'll certainly try. But I think the dynamics have changed. You know, the 3 defeats may have affected them if they kept the same manager. You know, and that's when you really would try and pounce. But we have to respect the fact that when new managers come in, things change. People get a fresh start. This manager had his team flying high in the league, playing really well in second place. They've just beat Rapid at the weekend. So the challenge has changed overnight, if you like. So in an ideal situation, we didn't want that to happen, but it is what it is.
You mentioned that home support as well. How crucial could that be?
Vital, because you know I look at this group and I don't think there's no standout team, if you like, who are big favourites. You'd maybe say Villarreal because they're probably playing in the strongest league, but I think it's a evenly matched group, so I think all the games that we play against each other, people are going to take points off each other. So for us at home, it's vital that we try and win this game, and having our support behind us certainly makes the job a lot easier.
Stephen, you spoke about the belief and confidence that the players needed to have after the Villarreal game. How much do you think that result has done for it?
We'll see tomorrow, but it was a fantastic result for us. As I said just before, Villarreal are probably the slight favourites in the group. And they're playing in the best league, and having the investment that they made in the summer on top of finishing 5th in the league. Of course, you'd always put them favourites, but I think we showed that we matched them, and at times in the game we look better. And I just think, looking at us from the day I walked into now, we're at our best when we're positive and when we believe in ourselves, and certainly when we go into the final third. You've seen at the weekend we never showed enough quality or belief in the final third, and we couldn't score, and we didn't look like scoring. So it's very evident to the players that when they go for it and they believe in themselves, they're a lot better team.
Do you think the onus is then on you to be the attacking side for these next 2 home games in the Europa League?
Yes.
How important is that going to be from the start, rather than having to reiterate it at half time?
Well, I'm not going to accept my team sitting back and just waiting for the game and waiting for a moment to join in the game. We have to be on it from the first whistle to the last, and I've mentioned many a times how I want it to look and what I expect of them, but the players have got to go and deliver that, and I'm sure the supporters are wanting that themselves. But the players know, we've spoke about it, and the players have given us feedback that they feel better when we're on the front foot.
Stephen, this League Cup semi-final situation rumbles on. Is it a frustration to you that nothing's set in stone yet?
No. We just leave it to the powers that be to make the decisions. It shouldn't really affect us because we've been drawn out to play Aberdeen in the first game of hand, and we don't expect anything to change, but we'll wait to see how it pans out, and we look in with interest. But we didn't have a complaint in the first place, and we still haven't got a complaint, and we wait to see how it pans out.
Getting a sense now that nothing in Scottish football's ever straightforward.
I mentioned last week, or was it the week before, that it was a very unique situation because ourselves and Celtic are still in Europe. The only advice I can get is maybe next time expect both of us to get to this stage in Europe and have a different solution.
John, how much are you looking forward to this game after being suspended for the last one?
Yeah, just to get back playing in Europe. They're always great games at Ibrox with the fans there, and I think it's a chance for everyone to put the feet behind us on Sunday and bounce back.
How do you find, since you've settled in, the competition for places here?
Yeah, it's always going to be healthy. There's many games this season, so competition is healthy and everyone's enjoying it.
Did you watch the Villarreal game?
Yeah, I've seen it. It was a great result for us, great point. So yeah.
Did you watch it at home or?
Yeah, no, I was at home. I was training in the morning at Hummel Park, so watched it at home.
Was that a difficult one to watch? Mostly the sort of way the game went, sort of nail biter really.
Yeah, I think so. I think from the off we didn't get the best of starts, but the lads were brilliant over there and got the point that we deserved.
What's been the reactions of the players this week after this one?
Yeah, I think the games are coming thick and fast, so I think we've just got to put it behind us. We've got to learn. We've looked through it, and as I said, it's a chance for us to bounce back.
Then you can't feel sorry for yourself in a sense because there are so many games in such short space of time that you think about one result.
Yeah, definitely. I think we can't dwell on it. We've just got to put it to the side and move on. Got to learn from it and correct the mistakes next time.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. Well back, gentlemen?
Yep.
Indeed.
Yep.
All right, so people want to join us and maybe comment on Stephen Gerrard about tomorrow night's game. Bridge, what's the number?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or you can join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. You'll be brought into Fox to join the one and only GFK, Bridgeman, and me. Oh, first man on the line. Evening, Rudy.
Evening, Ox.
Rudy.
You fellas.
Rudy, before you start, what did you have for dinner tonight?
Oh, I had a nice sirloin steak tonight, Bridge.
Sirloin steak, I hate you.
Oh,
sirloin steak.
sirloin steak.
Some breaded mushrooms, a nice fried tomato and some onion rings.
Oh my God.
Do you batter your steak, or you're a man for having it big and fat, Rudy?
Oh no, I like a big fat steak. Ox. Nice big fat steak, wee bit of pepper on it, and that's me. Wee bit of crushed pepper.
Okay.
It's fried in a wee bit of olive oil for a few minutes on each side, sauteed.
Well,
You like it rare then?
Kind of medium rare, Bridge.
Medium rare, right? Okay.
You've came a long way, Rudy. You've came a long way.
From St. Louis. See when you were a fullback, Rudy. Did you like your meat rare then?
He got it raw. He got it raw meat.
I used to have a bit at half time as well. My half time raw steak, you know.
Rudy's not like you, Bridge. He was on the party. Was they just cutting up the oranges at the side? Meow. Oh dear. That was because Bridge was the only man in the team with a knife. Anyway, back to the football. Obviously, people want to join us. It's 0141 356 1972. Or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. And remember, it's your show. It's you drive the agenda. Stephen Gerrard, very honest man, Rudy. Says it as it is. And is honest in his expectations, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, after the weekend, I don't know what is there much more you can say about the weekend, really?
No, it didn't happen. Just carry on. We're talking about tomorrow night.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to move forward, Docs, to be honest with you. You know, the performances at Ibrox have been great in the Europa League qualifiers, you know. And we got a great result away to Villarreal, one that we were all hoping for, but I don't know, I wasn't too sure. I don't know about anybody else, but I certainly wasn't too sure we could go there and do a job against Villarreal. But we did. Came back with a great point, you know. There's going to be a stadium full of bears, an Ibrox full of bears tomorrow. It's going to be packed to the rafters. The atmosphere's going to be absolutely brilliant. And as a player, if you can't get up for that, what are you going to get up for? You know what I mean? I'm really looking forward to the game tomorrow. They've got a new manager in that Vienna, you know. They've not had the greatest time yet recently. But that's nothing to do with us. We just have to go out and play our football, you know, and hopefully we get the result. really all I want, you know.
All right, now that you've heard the manager, JFK, what's your idea of what your lineup is?
I would go for McGregor, Tav, Golson, Katic. My midfield is a mishmash, guys. You know, I'm not like Dorans, Ajaria, Arfield, McCrory, Koulibaly, Halliday. I'm trying to pick 3 out of that 5. You know, I'd go with Arfield, and I'd probably go with Dorans, but I like McCrory. I don't know, is Koulibaly going to be fit? And I like Halliday. I like to see Halliday get a game. My front 3 is going to be easy. It's going to be Candace, because I still think Candace has got a lot to offer us. He didn't have a great game on any days, but we're not going to talk about that on Sunday. It's going to be Candace, Kent and Morelos up front. If I was pushed in my midfield, I heard the archive today, and I think it was Bridge was talking about Ryan Jack and that. But he's in the 18 seemingly, but I don't know if it's a game just a wee bit step too far for him. He's not played a lot of football since he got injured. But
could you call that a bridge too far?
A bridge too far. There you go. Well done. Would I go for Dorans, Arfield and McCrory, or would I go for Arfield, Ejari out in the right, McCrory? No, I don't know. I'll go for Dorans, Arfield and McCrory, Oxway, Candace, Kent and Morelos up front, and with the usual back 4 with Griggs in goal. That'd be the team I'd probably put. I'd like to see.
All right, okay. Obviously, I think the big point of the team is going to be the midfield, Bridgeman. I think the back 4 at the moment will pick itself. I think Katic will come back in for Worrell, personally. I think Kent and Candace are the form players. Candace had an exceptional game against St Johnstone, poor on Saturday, and Kent, who for me had a slow start, has looked better every time I've seen him. Morelos is my number 1 striker, and then you've got to pick your sort of midfield, and that's going to be the place where we'll all debate. So, Bridge, what's your thoughts?
Well, I go along the same lines as Jimmy. I said this the other night when we were talking about this. The back 4 and the goalkeeper would remain as the middle and the centre halves would be Golds and the Katic, Tav and Barisic and the full back side, McGregor obviously. And I agree with the top 3, Candace, Morelos and Kent. I would have, obviously, as we quite rightly say, as Jimmy quite rightly said, we don't know if Jack's going to be fit. But I would have Jack, if he's fit and available, I'd have Jack as my sitting midfielder. And then I would have Arfield and Ageria. That's what I'd have in the midfield.
All right, mate. All right. Everybody sees it different. Rudy?
Usual back.
What you're thinking? Usual back 4, aye.
Aye, I think we'd all go with that, wouldn't we? For me, is Koulibaly still out, Ox?
Oh, he's played the last 3 games, Rudy.
Oh, but
he's been substituted at different times, but he's been on the park.
I mean, he picked up a wee strain.
No, well, obviously Stephen Gerrard knows better than me. He never mentioned it.
Well, I would go with Koulibaly.
Right,
I would
okay.
Koulibaly in the midfield. I'd go with, if Ryan Jack's fit, I'd go with Ryan Jack as well, and I'd go with Ajaria. I'd have Kent on the left, Candace on the right, and Alfredo up front. You know, I'd just stick to the 4-5-1, 4-3-3 Ox. You know, I saw a wee stat the other day. We don't seem to get the 4-4-2. It's not working, you know.
No.
I would certainly go with the 4-5-1, 4-3-3, and that would be my team. Candace right, Fredo up front, through the middle, Ryan Kent on the left. I'd have Ryan Jack, Koulibaly, and playing in front of them, I'd have Big Ajaria.
All right, I would have, if we're assuming that the people are fit, my 3 would be McCrory, Jack, and I'm between Najira and Arfield, and I'm going to give Arfield the nod because I think it's not going to be as simple a game as we think it is going to be, because it's a wee bit of step up a class that we play every week, and I think it's important we keep it tight. But hopefully with the 4 forward players there, we've still got enough there to make chances. That's my thinking. Anyway, talking about people that are forward thinking, we'll be joined by Big Ulster. Evening, big man. How are we doing?
Evening. How are you?
I'm alright, mate. Your good self?
Doing well, thank you, mate.
How were the boys at the meeting tonight?
Everyone's very excited for the match tomorrow, so all good.
Was some of them looking better than the last time I seen them?
A lot better.
Good on you. Good on. What's your thinking about the team tomorrow night, mate?
I said my team yesterday, didn't it? But I'll just go through it again. There's the normal back four, we all know, and goalkeeper, McGregor. And the only thing I'll change, actually, I said I put Artfield in the team last night. Instead of Artfield, actually, I think I would go with Jack if he's fit, Koulibaly, and I would go with Dorans as the creator, and Candias, Kent, and Morelos.
Can I put it in there? Can we have a discussion on Scott Arfield, who at times has looked very intelligent? If we take St Johnstone game, the second half, it was absolutely fantastic. He scored goals, makes runs into the box. Yeah, but he's over the piece. If I'm being honest, in the league games, he's maybe been a 6.5 out of 10. Is that fair, Rudy?
I think it's 100% fair, Ox. I think exactly the way you do about Arfield. Well, we know he's a classic player. We know what he's capable of. I just haven't been that impressed with him, in all honesty, Ox, to be honest. I think I was probably expecting a bit more from him than we're getting so far. I mean, he's one of the senior pros in the team, so you need somebody to drag you up with the bootstraps. He's one of the guys that should be doing it, And he doesn't always for me. I mean, he's got skill, he's a classy player. He's got loads of experience as well, for the English Premiership and the Championship and all that stuff, So we know what he's capable of and what he's got. But a wee bit like you, Ox, I've not been too impressed with him, I have to say,
Come in and up. I was just going to say, I think Arfield's been an absolute star for us. There are times during the game when he seems to fall in a wee bit, but that might just be the players that are playing with him. But I think he's been all heart. He's given everything he had. I thought, in contrast to how I'm speaking about him, his game on Sunday was just deplorable, shocking, like everybody else's. But I think some of the games you mentioned against the European teams, and the last game we played against St Johnstone, Dundee, I think he's been absolutely wonderful for us. And he surprised me because I didn't think he was that good a player, should I say. Not that type of player, but that good a player. So I think he's great. The one I was going to say...
Rich, I think you're fair with your comments there. My problem with him has been when he goes missing.
Aye.
He goes missing.
Leaves a big hole, doesn't it? Leaves a big hole. I think I have to say, you've mentioned Koulibaly. A couple of years I've mentioned Koulibaly. I haven't mentioned Koulibaly. I wouldn't play Koulibaly. I don't think Koulibaly has shown any form since he came back for his injury. No form at all. He's been indeed very poor compared to the way we know he can play. So I wouldn't play him.
Can I ask you about Arfield, mate?
Of course, pal.
How many games would you say up to the weekend there? How many games would you say he's been a standout?
I think he's came right onto a game, and the last 3 or 4 games that we played, apart from Sunday there, I think he's been fantastic for us. He's really played well. But his big problem is that when there's nobody else in the midfield to play with him, it can just drift away, and fall out the game. But the truth is, if you put somebody in there to help him in any way, shape or form, either take the ball off him, for that, make himself available. But he's done a lot of tackling, which he never was good at. I think he's played really well for us. I've got no problem at all. No problem at all.
Okay. All right, I've been asked to ask you, Rudy, have you got a lot of experience with senior pros? Jimmy, what's your view on Scott Arfield?
I think tomorrow night's game, Ox, is a game for Scott Arfield with the experience he's got. But I agree with you guys. I mean, I'm disappointed in some of his performances. Sometimes I think he drifts out a game and his concentration seems to disappear and he gets caught out and he leaves it open. We know the experience he's got in the Premiership, and that's why we brought him. That's why CBG brought him. But I think tomorrow night's game will be a game that I'm hoping that he shines in, because it's the type of game, the experience he's got can win boys in the midfield for us. And that's why I picked him in my team. Out of the 5 or 6 midfielders that we could play tomorrow night. I agree with Rudy and Bridges saying there about young Ryan Jack and that. I'd love to see him play, but I just think it's maybe just no right for him tomorrow night. I hope I'm proved wrong, but for Scott Arfield, I think he'll come really good. I mean, we're only so many games, but 9, 10, 11 games into the season, that's including the European games, that I think he'll come good. I know he disappears sometimes, but I think we'll go to give him a wee bit of leeway that way, and see how it goes tomorrow. But I'm happy.
You think this is our 10th European tie. We've played 7 league games, mate. We're up to Sundays. We're 20th game. 20th game, mate.
Aye, so it is.
I mean, I can't even blame the school you went to. Right, Ulster.
Hey, Hammy, I went to. Hey, Hammy. No Highland.
I know. I went to Highland, you went to Hammy.
I'm not sure I did good.
Ulster.
Yeah, I think if you look at Ardfield's history, the other teams he's played for, I think he's more of a defender that works hard, tries to win the ball, tries to cut passing lines, and does all the sort of the dirty work, or the work sometimes you don't really get much thanks for. But since playing with us, because we haven't had really that creative midfielder, he's been asked to sort of do that role, and I just don't know if that role suits him. I think if you have a really good creative midfielder playing for your team, and Ardfield's allowed to do the nitty gritty work in the midfield, I think he would have better games for us. I think he's just being asked to create chances that he can't really. It's just not his game. I think we noticed that in the game against Villarreal, when Dorans came on, and you seen that wee bit of skill that he had. He actually put Ardfield through. Ardfield made a cracking run after a nice work and bit of skill by Dorans. And I just think if you have likes of Dorans or somebody else who's a creative midfielder that we maybe don't have at the club at the minute, and you have Ardfield in the same team as them, I think it would complement them a lot better.
Is it about getting the blend for you, Ulster? I mean, we've got a lot of, Rossiter, Jack, Dorans. That could be your midfield. The 3 of them maybe when they fit on Saturday, but that could be your midfield.
Yeah, it's just trying to get them fit, isn't it, really, at the same time?
They're all our players.
Yeah, exactly. And I think at the minute you've been young Ajiri has been asked to be the creator in the midfield, but he's still very, very young. He's getting the grips with it. I think we've seen him coming on to a game. But I think somebody else, if it's not Ajiri, if it's maybe Dorans or someone maybe coming in the next window, that'll be more of your out-and-out creator midfielder. I think that would honestly, seriously complement Ardfield a lot better and let him get on with what he's good at.
I agree with that.
Right.
I think. Sorry, Ox. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, you carry on.
No, I was going to say, I think when you get settled with your defensive mid, which is going to be absolutely crucial, and you mentioned young McCrory. Young McCrory seems to be coming on to really good games. I don't know whether you could actually throw him in as a defensive mid for the European games like that. I'm not dead sure. But I think that Ryan Jack's a very experienced player and has European experience. I think that he could do a really good job as a defensive mid for us. I think he's the best midfielder in our club. But I think you need Arfield to be able to, shall we say, fetch and carry from him. If you follow what I mean, look for the ball and run with it. Or if you're going to put Dorans in, he'll do a similar job. So they'll pick the ball, they'll run with it, and they'll create the openings, they put the through ball in. Hopefully, that is, because that's what we're really needing. Jerry is a wonderful player on the ball. He's got marvellous skills, but I don't know whether in a European tie, is he going to blossom? And that's the word we're looking for. Is he going to blossom? Is he going to come to it? I really do hope so.
Anyway, we'll bring in the voice of football, Mr. Fox. How are we doing, Mr. Fox?
Good evening.
How are we doing, mate?
Not bad, pal.
What's your thoughts on tomorrow night's team selection? And obviously with a wee debate on Scott Arfield. Any views?
I had a wee go at this last night, mate, and I've decided I'm not naming a team. I have no idea. I have
Thanks
no
for the
idea
call.
what's
Thanks for the
right.
call,
No
caller.
bother. Catch you later.
What a shocker you are, Fox. What a shocker.
What's
I
your
never
thinking,
get it
Fox?
right anyway.
That's just life in general for you, isn't it?
I've got a funny feeling when Flanagan done the press conference that he might be in tomorrow night, mate.
Agreed, bro.
Right, but
And
just
I think
remember
he would
that Katic's done the press conference for the Livingston game.
I don't know. Well, he did do well up until he gets sent off from the last Villarreal, wasn't it? Aye.
Yeah.
He done well enough until he goes. He didn't deserve to get sent off, but he got sent off. I've just got
the Russian game that was.
Was it? Sorry.
Ufa. Yeah. He was the other one to get sent off with Ufa.
I'm preoccupied with my guest now. Just now. We're in the last game of the team. My guest.
He's got a couple of old dogs, a young dogs, and he's babysitting the one and only Broxy Teddy. Yeah.
I'd like to know Foxy's views on Archfield because I know story of the game.
He doesn't have any views on any players. He comes from you know where, the other side of Glasgow.
I wish he would go. You know where, Fox.
I think he's a terrific player, mate. I think it's like everything is. I think it was Jimmy that said earlier. It's getting the blend right in the midfield, and at no time does it seem as though we've had the whole midfield fit enough for Steven Gerrard to play his best three in there. I don't know. I've got a feeling that between him and Ajaria to start the game to provide a wee bit of creativity tomorrow night. And I don't think there's much between the two of them. So I'm not going to second guess Steven Gerrard. He'll have a team in his mind, and I think we'll have to wait to kick off and see what it is, Ox.
Come on, come off that fence. Fox is picking the team. We want to hear it, don't we? Gentlemen, do we want to hear Fox's team?
Fox's team.
Yes, Fox's team.
He'll play himself at centre half.
And centre forward.
I've just got a feeling that Flanagan will come in, believe it or not, instead of Barisic.
Oh, is that, do you think Barisic is injured?
No, I think when Steven Gerrard was talking about that he had a word with second players about their application in the game, that I think he could have maybe be talking about Barisic, that he wasn't getting stuck in enough, and I've just got a feeling they'll play Flanagan on the left-hand side.
I think Barisic was one of the last players I would have to talk to about not getting stuck in, to be honest.
But the thing is, Bridgie, he pointed out in his press conferences that they're very good on the wings. Man, I don't see him taking Tav's place, but I think there's a wee chance he'll take Barisic's place.
Well, you read that well, Fox, didn't you? You read that deep, mate.
I never saw anything like that.
But remember, Jimmy, he's the guy that sees the wires on the moon landing, so remember that. Remember.
See, I should have got that because I'm the same as Fox. I saw the blue tack when it was trying to take off. I knew what they were trying to do.
Right, okay.
But Fox, that's a great shout, mate, about Flanagan. You read that quite deep, mate. I congratulate you on that.
He's on the bench anyway. He's on the bench anyway, so it won't matter.
Jimmy, I never get anything right, so Blue Shadow will be on in 5 minutes to let me know about it.
We're going to do a special show during the international break. All Fox's predictions.
Oh, God.
Hosted by Blue Shadow, I think, Fox, isn't it?
Oh, dear.
Aye. 2 hours special.
We need more than that.
Coming in, Ox. Who was Fox? Who was that? I can't mind his name now. You came up with some theory one night.
It's Khedira.
Yeah, Khedira. Aye, yeah. Sammy Khedira.
I put that down to too much Calpol before the show. One night.
Too much Calpol.
There's nothing wrong with a good bottle of Calpol, I can tell you. You mix it with Grey Goose, it still does the same thing.
There's a thread in your life, James.
There is indeed. No one that keeps asking for the pampas grass.
I've tried it. No, it just doesn't do a lot for me, you know, and I need somebody else to be away with me when I'm smoking it.
I don't think you're getting the point of the Pampers crash. On you go, Ulster.
No, just because I know JFK and Rudy haven't been on the last couple of nights, so I know I've been saying about teams and maybe not weekend teams, but resting players. I'd like to know what the guys keeping in mind that we're playing on Thursday night and Sunday against the Hearts. If Stephen Gerrard in his mind is thinking about resting players for either game, what game would you rather him see him resting them on the Thursday game, tomorrow's game, or the Sunday?
Well, it's a tricky one, Ulster, isn't it? You know, two huge games. Certainly the Hearts game, as far as the league goes for us, is absolutely massive. You know, they've done so well, Hearts. You know, I don't know, about 6 wins and a draw or something so far. I think they've had.
Yeah.
So, you know, and if you've any aspirations to win the league this season, you know, which we have got, obviously, you know, we should have been picking up 3 points in the places that we've dropped them so far. So this game on Sunday against Hearts, it becomes, we say this every week, it becomes huge, Ulster, for me. If I had a choice, if I really had to make a choice between dropping players and resting them, I'd probably, I think I'd have to say tomorrow night, picking up the 3 points for me against Hearts at the weekend is way more important for me.
Defo.
You the same, JFK? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Well, see for the Sunday game,
if you ask me now, Thursday's more important. But if you ask me at 10 o'clock tomorrow night, Sunday's a bigger game.
What would you
you know, because it's hard when the game starts.
Well, you know,
there's a full house at Ibrox to say it's not a big game, but
what would you take, Ox?
If you could only win one of them at the two, for the whole big picture, it would need to be the Hearts game. Bridgeman?
Hearts game.
Yeah, based on the ways of speaking about it, absolutely. That's the game overall that you want to. It's your bread and butter, and you need to close a gap on them. Then you would want that. But the truth of the matter is, we're not anywhere near a Hearts game yet. We're playing huge game, absolutely massive game. We've got 50,000 Bears going to be there, and the team's got to be able to, shall we say, show them what they can do after a very poor game last Sunday. So I'm just wanting the players to win the game, because I don't care who it is we're playing. Get out there at Ibrox and show them you can play football and win. And if you win, brilliant. And I just think that's the same. Obviously, when you put it into context of importance for our club, blah, 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 then that's the way you have to do it. And everybody will turn and say, but virtually every Rangers fan to a man will say, yeah, the Hearts game is far more important overall. But it's the next game we're playing. What are we going to do? We're going to say, no, we don't want to win tomorrow night.
I don't think that.
I'm trying to say that. Obviously we don't. So we must be wanting to win. And if we want to win, we want to make sure that we do win. How are we going to win? We've got to go out and play well. I dare say, maybe some of you guys are thinking, would you like to put out a weakened team like other clubs can do? I don't know we can do that.
What I mean is... Can I come in here, Ulster? I don't think Ulster was actually meaning that. I think what Ulster was saying there was that no put on a weakened team tomorrow night. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Ulster, I think you were thinking along the lines of the team we put out tomorrow night, is it going to be something that he's thinking in line with the Hearts game? No, what way we change it tomorrow night? I mean, we all know what the back four is going to be, and we've all different connotations with the middle and that. And I think what Ulster's saying is, I mean, how would other players fit in for Sunday? And the fact is that would they play Halliday tomorrow night and no play him on Sunday, vice versa? Because we know we've got a good midfield, you know. And what Bridge is saying there is right. You know, we've got to take care of tomorrow night, obviously, you know. And once we come to the 10 o'clock tomorrow night, as Ox says, then we'll all decide. But I don't think that Ulster was talking about playing a weekend side. He was just in what kind of permutations could we pick between tomorrow and Sunday? Am I right, Ulster? Have I got that wrong?
Ulster, what I mean is, right, just say we play a back four tomorrow of two centre-backs of Golds and Cottage, right? You play, say, Kent, and Kent has a stormer of a game, which he's had the last few games for us. He's in form. What would you say if you go into the Hearts game then on the Sunday, and because they have played on the Thursday, Stephen Gerrard does what he's done recently and has maybe took Kent out to put Worrell in, took Kent out to put in, say, Lafferty on the left, and we don't get the points, we don't get the maximum points. Do you not think there'd be sort of questions from the fans going, well, if you were going to rest them in either game, would you not have been best maybe not have Kent on the Thursday game rather than miss them out for the Sunday game?
Yeah. I think the thing is, we're in a unique situation now. Once we get to Sunday at 5 o'clock, everybody's getting a rest, so they've got to put themselves out for the next 72 hours. And if they're the first selection, as Bridge says, they should be able to get themselves up for these 2 games now.
See the point you're making there, Ulster. See, as far as the defence goes, and especially the defence for me, I would stop tinkering with that for a start. I would play the best defence, the best back four, and the best goalkeeper that we've got. And the way that is now for me, it's Katic, Goldson, Tav and Barisic. That's the back four for me. It's as simple as that, with Griggsy behind them. They, for me, play every single game, because they're the foundation of what we build on when we go forward. We need them to be solid at the back, and the only way that happens is by them playing together all the time and developing that confidence in the four of them at the back, talking to each other, playing with each other. As far as Flanagan and Joe Worrell goes, for me, the back part players now, it's as simple as that. They sit on the bench, they wait their turn. If somebody's injured, suspended, sent off, whatever the case might be, then they step in. I would stop messing with the back four the way Stephen Gerrard has been doing. It's up to me a wee bit after the weekend, because I think they had an absolute nightmare at the weekend, and we were lucky that we didn't come away with a 3 or 4-0 defeat, in my opinion. So for me, stop messing with the back four. Stop messing with the back four. Let them play, and let them play every week. Right, the permutations as far as your midfield goes, we've got a plethora of midfield players now. So we have a plethora.
Okay, thank you.
Lots of midfield. We can have. There's probably 2, 3, 4 different combinations there when you look at the amount of midfield players we've got, depending on who we're playing, where we're playing, and what the setup is going to be. We've not got that up front, because as it stands just now, we've only got Morelos and Big Kyle Lafferty. It's as simple as that. We've got talent on the wings. Grezda will get better and better as time goes on. But for me, this is so important for us going forward. The mainstay of that team for me right now is our back four and our goalkeeper. They have to play on a game-by-game basis, every game for me. And, and you can say, but they'll get tired. Well, look, they're professional athletes. They should be resting up when they get the opportunity, training hard when they have to train hard, and relax in between games when they get the opportunity. But to develop an understanding, as they showed at the beginning of the season, especially in Europe, they have to play together consistently for me. I just wouldn't mess with the back four anymore. It's as simple as that. I wouldn't do it again.
Well, that was what the basis of my question was, Rudy, because I agree with you. But that's not what's been happening. And ever since Worrell has come in, he's played a game, been out a game, played a game. So you have Goldson and Katic. I could be wrong, but since Worrell has come in, Goldson and Katic, I don't think have played 2 games together in a row.
Worrell's played 3 of the last 4 games, hasn't he?
Yep.
Villarreal, he didn't play against St Johnstone, then he played against Ayr, then he played against Livingston. He's played 3 of the last 4 games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what are we going to see?
One at a time.
Go ahead, Jeff. You finish up. I've made my point anyway, so I'm just going to go over the same ground anyways. Go ahead, Jeff.
I think we're all starting to fall in the same line as Fox. If we all listen to each other here, because Fox has always said, I would always play my strongest team. And we're all sitting here tonight talking about tinkering and about how we would tinker the night and how we would tinker on Sunday. And Fox has always maintained, I know he's talking tonight about Flanagan because he's read something different, but Fox always said, no, play your strongest team. And that gives a link to what Rudy was saying. I wouldn't change my back four at all. Now, I think we've got to go forward and try and get a consistency. We need to sort out the midfield. What is his best midfield? we've all got different connotations in the midfield. Up front, we all know it's Kent, Candace. Hopefully Gresda comes in, Ryan Jack comes in, Morelos. I'm a fan of Lafferty. You know, obviously, the way I like to see Rangers play, but it's obviously not working for us, the two up front. So, but, yeah, what Rudy's saying there is 100%. We can't start tinkering with the back four. We've got a plethora of midfield players, and up front, we're kind of light, aren't we? Because we've only got Morelos and Big Tav. So, what Fox has been saying for the last few weeks is, play your full team, the good team. And I can't argue with that.
Just to let people at CC know, that means we've got a lot of midfield players. All right, carry on.
Go ahead, Brids.
I was just going to say, it doesn't matter if we've got a plethora of midfielders or not. We have to. It's not the players I'm worried about. We have to address. We're playing in the Europa League, and we're in the group stages, and we've got a point in the bag from the last game, and we're home at Ibrox in front of a full house. There's absolutely no way. We as supporters, in my opinion, we as supporters shouldn't be thinking to Sunday in Hearts game. Obviously, once that's passed and we don't play very well or whatever happens, we've got to start thinking, well, the manager needs to do what the manager has to do and play whatever team the manager has to play. But as fans, I want to go and see my team winning. But I know, I don't, when I said maybe are we going to play a weakened side? Maybe we will. But I don't know what the weakened side is, because I watched them on Sunday, we were just rotten, if you follow what I mean. So we need to obviously go in and find our form and play well. I just want my manager to pick the best team he can pick on the park, and let's go out there and play and show them what we can do. And the rest of the team, or squad, shall we say, should always be there to back everybody up. I think that's the way we should be playing football. Obviously, I'm no stupid, because I know it's going to be really difficult, but I have to trust the manager and his team. They see what the players are doing, they know what games are ahead of us, and I'm desperate to win tomorrow night and win on Sunday. That's what I want. There's the two things. Can we make it happen? That's up to the manager.
I mean, that's the ideal situation, but just to win the two, isn't it? You know, get
absolutely.
3 points, and then we get 3 points on Sunday. What a great end to the week it would be. You know, it'd be fantastic if we could do that, you know. But as you say, it's up to the manager. It's Steve.
I know it's Sunday's defeat never put you off your foot like the rest days, right? Carry on.
Well, it did for a couple of days, I have to be honest.
Couple of minutes?
A kind of...
couple of minutes, nice one.
But there's nothing we can do about that, you know. It was just one of the days, it just didn't happen. So there's nothing we can do, that's by what we'd have to do now. And Bridge makes a really good point. The next huge game for us this Thursday is tomorrow night, you know, in the Europa League. Once that's out the way, then we start looking at the Hearts game, which is another massive game. And Bridge says it on a weekly basis, game-by-game basis. Every game that's coming up right now is absolutely massive for us, you know. Do we have the squad to be able to compete in all these games that we're going to have between now and the end of December? Well, it remains to be seen, because we've all mentioned the fact how light we are up front. There's no many changes that you could make there, and certainly probably wouldn't anyway. You know, it would always be Morelos for me up front, simple as that. And I like Big Kyle. He's come on and scored some great goals for us, you know, none more so than his goal. His second goal we got at Villarreal. So, you know, for me, Big Kyle was a great option to bring off the bench. But I would still go with I've seen it to my mate this afternoon, I'd still go with the 4-5-1, 4-3-3, because I think when we try to step out of that formation, we don't seem to get it right. We don't seem to click properly.
A fair comment, Rudy. I mean, I don't know if we tried that at Parkhead, but we saw something wrong that day. We tried something different at Motherwell, and we tried something different at Livingston, and the twice you could argue it's cost us 5 points, you know.
Definitely.
You could argue that, you know.
They play with a 3-5-2, don't they? So they've took the opportunity. They've thought, right, we'll flood the midfield, which is something we don't seem to be able to get a grip of. This midfield thing. Games are won and lost in the midfield. That's where they're won and lost. So if you go 4-4-2, you're expecting your two wide men to come into the midfield. You're asking them to do a hell of a lot of work in there if you're only got two in your midfield and you've got your two wide men. I just wouldn't do it. It's as simple as that. And as much as I said, I like Big Kyle, but he'd be on the bench. He's a great option to bring off the bench.
Why don't we just go old school then? and go 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah, come on, let's go for that then. You know, and I'm no kidding on. Let's go for it. I know. That was the old way. 1, 2, 3, 5. Let's go for it. Tongue in cheek, guys. I know, but everything they're saying is fantastic. You know, and we need to get a settled team. But you know what? What is good about this discussion is that in the last few years we couldn't even pick the team that was playing that day. But now we're thinking about the team that's playing the next game. And we've never had that because of the players that we've had at Ibrox. But we've got a fantastic amount of players there, a cracking pool of players. And it's a great discussion, you know. And we've all got our own ways of dealing with the discussion. And it's fantastic, you know, because we never ever thought we'd have some of these players at Ibrox. Don't get us wrong, they're no world beaters, we all know that. But they're all good journeymen. And they're doing a good job for Rangers. And let's see what tomorrow night brings us.
Can I come in there, Oxchair?
Remember, Bridgeman used to love Nicky Law. Carry on, Bridge.
Nicky Law, who was it who actually liked him? Was it no young, was it Pete? He was a Nicky Law man. Anyway, what I was going to say was, and you'll always hear me saying it, my favourite formation for football is 3-5-2. I want Rangers to be able to play a 3-5-2, but I can tell you right now, in my honest opinion, we're miles away from having a 3-5-2. We do not have the players to do that. You need really good players in key positions. And one of the key positions, of course, is your three at the back, which is your three centre-halves. And you need one for each side and one for the middle. And we don't have that. We don't have good enough centre-halves to do that. And I said this all along. Somewhere along the line, as we improve, we might get 3-5-2 next season because we've bought in a left-footed centre-half just for saying sake. It can do everything for us. And then we need a really, we've all said it ourselves, we need a really, really, really good midfielder. A really, really good midfielder that controls the whole game, and all the rest of the midfield boys work with him, and the wide boys look for the ball, and all these great things. And we've got two up front at the moment. If you wanted to use them, we did that the other day there, and it didn't work. I'm afraid that Morelos and Lafferty together just didn't work for us.
Anyway, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the evening. If you don't mind going to mute, we'll have a tune for your Fox.
Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. Won't you come and cheer us? Help the boys along. White and blue, coming through with a song. Oh, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. We'll be there to do it, do it if we can. Win the cup, hold it up in our hands. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay.
Oh, thanks for that, Fox. You all back, gentlemen?
Rangers,
Yeah, we are indeed.
Rangers, easy, okay. I love it.
Okay.
Who's singing that?
Bridgman.
No,
No, it's not. It's Bridgman, aye.
that's very good, Rudy.
Enjoyed that wee tune.
Who's singing that, Fox?
Can't remember, mate, to tell you the truth.
It's for the 70s, isn't it? Is it Mr. Abby or is it?
Mr. Davy.
I can't remember it. I do hear
Ben Gunn?
I hear the UB Union Bears are trying to bring it back. I've heard them try to sing it a couple of times, get it going. Aye, but it's a good wee happy tune.
Alright, okay. Alright. Talking about good wee happy tunes. Now that he's been in death's door with his manflu, he's back to join us. We've been joined by Cushy. How we doing, Cushy?
Evening, guys. How are we?
All right, Cushy.
Evening, Kush.
Watch you don't catch your virus after match. Get your...
Anyway, the mask on.
Yes. What's on your mind, Cushy?
No, just listening to the show, guys. Interesting topics for tomorrow night. I think I've got a strange optimism for tomorrow night, actually, which obviously hasn't been isn't taken from the previous game, but I've got a feeling we'll sort our formation out tomorrow night. We'll sort our manpower out, and we'll actually go out and have a good account of ourselves. So I'm quite positive about tomorrow night, which obviously...
Because she's picking the team. What's the team, mate?
Oh, gosh, here we go. I would go Tav, Katic, Goldson and Barisic. Kent on the left. Ajaria, Arfield, Koulibaly and Candace. Kent, Ajaria, Arfield, Koulibaly and Candace would be the five in the middle, and Morelos up front.
Give me your three in the midfield again there, mate.
It was more five, so it was a 4-5-1 moving into a 4-3-3 move, actually attacking. Kent in the left, Arfield, Ajaria and Koulibaly in the middle, and Candace on the right.
Same midfield as Sunday. Oh, controversial JFK.
But not controversial. I mean, we've all got our own likes and dislikes about midfield.
It's a show, mate. It's a show. I'm trying to...
No, it's not. I know that. I know, it's not controversial. Come on now. You can't be doing that now. The man's just here for the man flu. Don't make him feel bad.
If they'd listened to you, they'd be doing it in 2 days.
Exactly. I mean, we've all got our different reasons for picking different players in midfield and that, the way we see the Gers playing. You know, I've not got an argument with Cushy's players there. You know, we've all picked different. You know, I would like to see Halliday or McCrory in Arfield or Dorns. The 6 guys that I've got there in the midfield, I'd love to see them, and I'd love to see Ryan Jack involved. I've said that before, but I don't know if it's just it's not going to happen for him. Maybe in a couple of games to go. Maybe see him on Sunday. But we've all picked more or less the same team. Ox. We've kind of everybody's mixed and matched the midfield that we're all thinking about for tomorrow night. And that's good, as I said before. That's good that we can all do that. But I've not got a problem with that midfield. If that's the midfield that's picked tomorrow.
I think question would be, I think one of the questions is what does everybody think that our strongest midfield is, regardless of
everybody fit. Rossiter, Dorrans, Jack, everybody's match fit.
Everybody's fit. What's our strongest 5 that we could put on the park, regardless of who the opposition is? I think the 5 that I mentioned are at the moment the strongest players that we could put on the park.
I would disagree with you a wee bit there, Tucci. I would go Koulibaly, Jack, and Arfield. I think would be the strongest three.
Somebody's moving the book. Can you go on mute if you're moving the book?
Koulibaly, Jack, and Arfield for me. Possibly, with the exception of maybe bringing Dorrans in instead of Arfield. but certainly Candace and Kent, they'd certainly be on the wide positions for me.
If we were all fit, did you say if we were all fit?
All fit, yeah.
Right, okay. Can I come in on that one then?
And you just don't.
Well, I just wondered. Okay, I'd have Rossiter in it. I think Rossiter's my number one midfield, defensive mid.
I tend to agree with that. Who have you got defences? Is Koulibaly your defensive mid in that shape, Cushy?
I would say Koulibaly is definitely. Yeah, I feel pushed forward a little bit more, along with Ajaria. But Rossiter has been great for the very, very limited amount of time we've actually seen the boy. But we've never seen him in Europe. Whereas every single one of these players that are in that five we have seen in Europe this season.
We have.
When do we see Rossiter in Europe?
Progress.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Well, that's hardly a ringing endorsement, is it?
Don't ask a question if you don't like the answer.
I rest my case, I'll put the phone down.
He's right, Bridge. Rossiter's rubbish.
It's a very tough one because we've got, probably 8 or 9 really good on form, really good midfielders to pick from. If you could get Koulibaly on form, I'm not talking about his fitness, I'm just saying on form, he would be, and we've seen it ourselves, he's a very, very good midfielder. But would you have him in defensive mid, or would you have him just in midfield? Would you know what I mean? Would you just have him as a midfielder, or just would you have him as a defensive mid?
I would have him the way we played against Maribor.
Which was?
Just I'm not sure he was a defensive midfielder. He was just a midfielder, just breaking up the play, trying to break forward when he possibly could. He just done a little bit of everything, I think, and that's probably why we like him so much as a midfielder.
I think he did an excellent game against Maribor, Cushy. I agree with you. I would certainly with Koulibaly. I think he's big, he's strong, he's powerful, gets about well, breaks the play up well, and he knows how to get forward as well. I think he scored the third goal, didn't he, against Maribor? So for me, I would always play him. I just think he's a really good player.
Can I just put it out there that he's not kicked a ball since he came back from injury?
He's certainly not been the player he was before the injury, but that'll come back again. I think, he's a talented player, Ox.
All right, I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
No, it's a good point, Oxton. I think the boy, every player, he needs games to get sharp again. And particularly the way he plays, I think, in terms of breaking up the play and picking up a lot of second balls, which he does, that requires a high, really, really high level of fitness. And I don't, he maybe just needs to get a little bit of sharpness back, but, I'm basing it on what we've seen maybe up until he was injured rather than what we've seen after he was injured. They're absolutely right.
Aye, but fair comment. Well, it's all about opinions, GFT, innit? Everybody's going to see it slightly different, and then we'll go to Big Ulster. Everybody sees it slightly different.
Of course we do, and I mean, I would say the ones that I would go for Jack, Koulibaly, Arfield, Dorrans, and I'd go for Gresda. I'll give Gresda a run in there.
In the morning night?
No, tomorrow night. We're talking about. We're not talking about tomorrow night. We're talking about the best.
Fit.
If everybody's fit,
All right, okay.
How can you say he's GFK? How can you say he's our best? He's our best midfielder when we've hardly seen him. I'm just.
I think he's a crack. I think he's a crack player, mate. I think he'll shine for us. I really do. But for what I know it's only YouTube and different things now, but I think he'll be a great player for us. I don't think he'd have bought him if it wasn't the player that we know he can be. And I think he will be. We're talking about what we like to see in the future, and that was what the question was. So that's what I would think. That I think Gresda is going to be a great player. I think he'll be a star for us.
You've only named one wide player there. It's Gresda, though, Jimmy.
I'd only play one wide player.
Okay. All right. Okay. No. Sorry.
I would only play one wide player.
Put that in your pipe smoking.
I need it.
Right, Jimmy, if you're going to be like that, see you later.
No, sorry. I'll keep your name sip if you don't go.
Oh dear.
Jimmy, you're off a cruel to your guys. Jimmy. Off a cruel.
Oh, I know. I'm getting withdrawal symptoms for the Lemsip now. The Grey Goose withdrawals have went a long time ago. It's the Lemsip now. I'm coming down half.
But I think because great that we've got debate about players and bringing players in, and it will be interesting to see if Grez is on the bench and maybe he must be fit now, ready pushing for a start.
I think he will. I think he will be. I think that we've got some important games coming up. But and I'm questioning whether we would throw Grez into those games, given the fact that the boy is just coming back from injury. Now he might well be fully fit at the moment, but I was always of the opinion that a player needs about 6 games, full 90-minute, full throttle games to get himself up to the match fitness level that he wants to be at. Grezda hasn't had that full stop, and I think there's other players in there that have had it, and they will be far more up for it tomorrow night than Grezda would. I think he's a decent call for the bench, and moving forward, he's going to be definitely in Steven Gerrard's plans because we wouldn't have bought him otherwise. Simple as that. So he's definitely going to play a big part for us moving forward throughout the season. I think this game is, for starting him, has probably come just a little too soon for him, and I would rather see him. I'd rather see him be introduced in some other home games that we've got maybe coming up after an international break that can kind of bed him in to how we play on the park and what's expected of him and the kind of atmosphere he's going to get at Ibrox on a day-to-day basis, rather than just throwing him in at this, because I just don't feel his match sharpness will be quite there.
All right, so we're on agreement then that Big Sadiq will be playing tomorrow night, Rudy.
Looks like it. I don't know. I mean, that's obviously. I think we spoke about this a couple of times now the last couple of weeks. Big Sadiq, I don't know what's happening there with that boy you're taught. Steven Gerrard really doesn't seem to fancy him. And I think it was Steven Gerrard's last interview there. Truth be told, he kind of came out and said that, that he's going to start doing much, much more to get involved, and his boys obviously no doing it in training, they're not picking him. It's as simple as that, you've got an injury or a suspension to one of your strikers and he doesn't even get on the bench. It tells you everything you need to know from me. They took him off in the thingy game, the reserves game at half time, and I think it was Jimmy mentioned that the young boy that they brought on scored a hat-trick came on after half time. So that kind of tells you everything. I said this a few weeks ago. I think he'll be gone in January. I know if people talk about his contracts, the loan contracts and stuff like that. I don't see any point in having him here come January if he's not played. And, Rangers are going to have to go to Roma and say, look, you need to take this boy back. It's an absolute waste of time. He's not doing anything here. And I'm quite sure Roma and themselves would think we need to take him back and send him somewhere else.
I know what you mean. Right, lads, we need to move on and we need to discuss and have honest views on the state of Scottish League football and the administrators who administer Cup and the mess they've got them into. Just remember your P's and Q's. Bridgeman.
Well, what a shambles, an omni-shambles. If ever there was an omni-shambles, we have it now. And really and truly, it's been over 2 weeks now. In fact, it's a long time since the draw was made. But they've decided, maybe nearly 2 weeks ago, they decided this was it. We're going to be it, and the two games are going to be played on the Sunday.
Last Thursday it was.
I'm saying that whenever it was, and all of a sudden it's all going to happen, and then all of a sudden it's not happening. There's been moaning and groaning and gurning and gnashing of teeth and farcical stuff, just farcical stuff. And now we're hearing that they were going to change our game is going to be moved out to, let's say, 4:30, around about that time, and their game is going to be moved over to Murrayfield, and it's going to be played, let's say, at 1 o'clock. But that club over the other side of the city has now come out with a statement tonight saying this it's irrational and discriminatory to make that decision without holding it as some sort of ballot. So in other words, everybody's against this, and I think that's just shocking. The whole thing The whole thing, every single one of them want run out of town. Every one of them.
I couldn't agree more. Cushy, this was a problem that came in the making when we both qualified for Europe, in the Europa League, obviously. So you've looked at your planning. We go into that cup along with other teams in Scotland at the last 16, so there's a good chance, potentially, that some of the teams, if they do qualify for Europe, can be in the semi-finals just because of your top teams. So why did it take till last Wednesday night for administrators to think, oh, we've got a problem?
I think they've just shut their eyes, hope for the best, and then buried their heads in the sand a little bit as it's came. You know, now as far as we're aware, I think Neil Doncaster had asked Hampden Park Limited whether they would release the SPFL for their contract to host all the semi-finals involving Old Firm at Hampden, and they were declined. Now, he, at the very least, should have had that sorted out, you know, well before this has come up, so that it could, if that's the case, and then we've got and the SPFL are under contractual obligation to host those semis at Hampden, then that, you know, from a legal perspective, there's absolutely nothing they can do. But they could have primed the ground, for want of a better phrase, before that to make people aware that is going to be the case. But it was quite adamant that was the case, and that Hampden Park Limited had actually turned around and said, no, we are not releasing you for your contractual obligations. It then does a complete volte-face within, 4 days, and then turns around and says that Ian Maxwell has said that Hampden Park Limited will now reconsider their position and waive the legal obligation. Now, you know, Doncaster himself has said that, you know, obviously that he wants that to go ahead, but for goodness sake, are they really trying to tell us that Neil Doncaster and Ian Maxwell have had absolutely no conversation about this until such times as it was actually thrust in their face, and that Rangers and Celtic are both in different semi-finals and have got to do it roughly on that same weekend? It's just incompetence on a grand scale. And I don't think, you know, unlike brethren across the city, you know, I just think it's complete and utter incompetence. I don't think there's any kind of, you know, there's a what's the word?
A bias.
There's a bias, you know, or anything like that, you know, or else it's some kind of conspiracy. It's just complete incompetence in FPSL and SFA's part in doing this, you know. And all they've done is made a rod for their own back. You know, it amazes me, and it's always amazed me that these people actually get in these positions of authority in Scottish football when as soon as they're in it, they're almost shown immediately to be promoted above their level of competency.
Rudy, not that difficult, is it? You say we've got a problem because teams are qualified for Europe. We've planned for semi-final dates for this. Tie A will be played here, Tie B will be played here, and everybody knows where you are if that scenario's played out. It's no rocket science, is it?
Certainly isn't it, mate? And Kish put it much more eloquently than I did last week when I said our governing bodies were run by cranks, because that's exactly what they are, they're cranks. We know Doncaster's in the position that he's in because of who put him there. There's a man, you know, who should never be in that position, and he's proved it time and time and time again. The SFA, the SPFL, they're both as bad as each other. How they couldn't have forward planned for this is just laughable, in my opinion. It's laughable. I mean, these are guys who run our game. Absolutely laughable. They should have looked well ahead, sat down, had the meeting and said, right, look, this is what we need to plan for. We've got European competition. We've got 2 teams in European, possibly 2, maybe more teams in European competition. Let's get a plan sorted just now. Let's speak to each other and sort this out before we get to that bridge. But they didn't bother. They didn't bother, and it's something you said last week, which kind of rang true a wee bit with me. Maybe they didn't expect Rangers, for instance, to qualify for the Europa League. There you go. Maybe you're right about that. I don't know. But they've made themselves look like a shambles, and it's a problem of their own making. They've brought this on themselves. To have 4 sets of fans nicking about the city of Glasgow, all falling a baby on the same day was just laughable. How anybody could have thought that would have been all right, in my opinion. And we said that last week. They've now had
and the coppers thought it was all right. I should have known better. Bernard Higgins actually have told me everything I want to know, but
possibly I looked all right to the Police Scotland. It just doesn't. I mean, it doesn't compute for me. But then, so now they've had to finally turn and say, which is a decision, in my opinion, that should have been made in the first place. One tie it's played at Murrayfield, the other tie it's played at Glasgow, and you stagger the times. It should have been done in the first instance. They shouldn't have had to go through all these hurdles, make themselves look like half-wits, and then make the right decision. Now we've got the other side of the city talking about bias and all the rest of it. It's not like them, is it? It's not like them to talk about bias. 60 million wage bill, and they're scared to go to Murrayfield to play Hearts.
But they've used Murrayfield before. I mean, they get beat 3-0 there, and the boy came on didn't touch the ball and they get a walkover. That might happen again.
Aye,
but what I'm going to say, we've just got Ibrox John, who's in our lobby now. People organise things, our support and their support, whether we like it or no. Book flights, etc. I mean, I was talking to somebody today who booked a flight to come back at 6 o'clock at night.
Is it? Poor guy.
No, so he was going straight for the game to the airport to get back down the road, and now he's got to pay more money to get another flight, and the incompetence that shines through their ranks. This, for me, should be resignation for people. I don't know what you think, GFK.
Well, I'm reading Ibrox John there on the lobby.
GFK, should they be shot?
Of course they could. Should be shot, aye. I'm reading what Ibrox John saying there on the cost that's going to change flights, but I wouldn't book any more flights. The new. Because this is no finished talks. It is a total shambles. In all the times, I don't listen to Radio Snyder that often, but I did tonight because of the situation, and I can't believe what I heard. Well, maybe I can. Right, and I wrote this down earlier on tonight, because I obviously knew we were going to discuss this, right? Because the Celtic statement stays about all the rubbish about the bias and about hypocrisy and blah, blah, blah. But then there we had Jim Duffy and Mark Goody on the panel, and this is what they said. This is obviously the same as the Cadete-Farry situation, and Celtic have a case. There should have been a draw to see what teams played where and what stadium. Celtic have a real case. Maybe lawyers will become involved. Now that just shows you what they're like on the other side, right? And how biased they are against Rangers. Never mind anybody else in Scottish football. And I sympathise with guys like Ibrox John and guys like Ulster who come here and pay their money coming across the water to see the Rangers. I'm fortunate I only stay 25 minutes away, and so it's not going to affect me a great deal. But this is what we're up against, guys. The SPFL have made a right roaring you-know-what of it, right? And it's not going to change. These guys are this mob across the city, the beasts, you don't be surprised if lawyers are involved here. And in 2 or 3 days' time, we end up all finding out that there's going to be a draw in a lots to see where we play. This is like Brexit, guys. It's not going to they're not going to be happy until they get what they want. And that's disgusting. I'm happy wherever we're going to play.
I've just been sent a statement. It's just broke for. I don't know if she's have caught this yet. It's on Twitter. It's a statement for Rangers. Rangers statement about the League Cup semi-final plan. LOL. End of statement.
Can I come in on something here as well, Ox, here, just to say there's been a movement for, allegedly Mr. Trannyman was asked a question tonight over in Austria, and he's saying here, my initial reaction is I don't mind where we play, to be honest. My feeling would be I'd be disappointed with the process. I think it's unfair. Having the 2 games on the one day in the same venue didn't seem right for everyone, so at least a decision had been made to take it away from Hampden. But then you have to be fair to all 4 teams and all 4 sets of supporters. And here's a bit I think he's meaning is only for Celtic fans. People will have booked flights, boats, organised journeys, and now it's changed to elsewhere. And he's no caring about Rangers fans or any other fans has done that. He's only interested in one set of fans. That's why he's saying that.
And that, Bridge, is my point, that he should roll, because it's affecting the 4 sets of fans, because whether we like it or not, Aberdeen and Hearts fans, there'll be people there, know the same numbers, booking flights and all the things, etc., to get in the game. People who are the lifeblood of organising things, hotels, etc., maybe they'll no need them, they'll need them, they're in different parts of this country now. It's just an absolute cluster, and somebody needs to pay with their job. And I don't say that lightly, that I want people to lose their job.
But
Ulster.
You see what you're saying there,
Ulster.
Ulster. Oh, sorry, Ulster.
Oh, you're right, yeah. You're right. No, I think everybody's made fair points there. Go ahead, Jeff. Yeah, coming after you.
No, just what Ox was saying there, you know, like about the statements have been made. Right? This is all about against Rangers. Hearts, Aberdeen, and them. Right? It's nothing to do with against what's happening with the SPFL. Every statement that's coming out now is derogatory against Rangers. And it's plain and simple as that. Sorry for butting in there.
Jimmy, can you just clarify where you've seen them saying, making a derogatory mark against Rangers? I have to admit, I've been following this. I haven't seen anything like that. I think it's totally against the SPFL. Obviously, they may have Rangers in mind, but I'm not reading in like that.
Do you not think the statement that Celtic made tonight is derogatory against us?
No, I don't think so. I think the reason for their statement is so they can get at us in some way or other. But the Rangers haven't made any statements at all other than that LOL statement. But no, seriously. So I think that's what's frustrating them, and that's why I'm asking you if you can maybe tell us how I should be reading something, because I can't see nothing at all.
Well, I'm only repeating what we said.
They're playing the victims card.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Yes,
Jimmy, carry on, Jimmy.
Well, I'm not wanting to be clicking about, but there's actually a statement being released with them.
I've got it here in front of me.
Aye, I know. Well, but I'm only telling you. But I'm listening. I read it doing what they say in Radio Clyde tonight, or Radio Snide, and they're agreeing about that. There's derogatory, but they're saying here that it's the same as the Cadet Farry situation, and it's Celtic have a case. You know, because that's the way. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make a case that the SPFL or the SFA, whoever it is, are trying to make sure that Rangers get the upper hand. How we can get the upper hand, I don't know. As Stephen Gerrard said today, we are not making a complaint. We'll play wherever they tell us to play. And that's what you call class. But their comments are always about what they want them to do. And it's, for me, I think it's all against Rangers. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're entitled to your opinion, JFK. Tushy?
I think one of the issues with regards to all this is the fact that nobody in Scotland will ever convince Celtic and their fans that there is never a conspiracy against them. So when they see that they're told to play at Murrayfield, it doesn't matter what you say to them. It doesn't matter that it makes kind of common sense on the face of it, that if you're going to have another one, and it doesn't need to be at Hampden, that preventing at least one set of supporters from that travel makes some common sense. That is completely irrelevant to Celtic and the Celtic support. All they think is someone has got it in for them somewhere with a chip on their shoulder that they've got. And unfortunately with Doncaster and the way that he's went about this, it just plays into the conspiracy theory hands for the Celtic support. Now, I'll echo what the other guys are saying. I don't really care if we play it, right? But what the Celtic support think is that someone somewhere has got it in for them to play Hearts at Murrayfield, which is their second home ground, and they're used to playing there, blah, blah, blah. Forget the fact that, Celtic also used to play at Hampden when their ground was undergoing renovation, and they're used to playing at Hampden as well. All that kind of common sense stuff is thrown out the window.
Celtic used Murrayfield when it suited them.
Exactly, but they also used Hampden an awful lot when it suited them as well. So they've got I would suggest that Hearts have got as much a case for not playing it as Hampden as Celtic have as not playing it at Murrayfield. But it's the actual common sense behind it, Ox, is absolutely irrelevant, because they think there is a conspiracy at place in order to give them the lower hand somehow in this, and to give Hearts some kind of advantage, and to give Rangers some kind of advantage and all that. And there's nothing that we are going to say is going to dissuade these people from that. They simply think that, and that is the case. And unfortunately, Doncaster, the way he's handled this, has probably played exactly into their hands in terms of the way he's handled it.
Cushy, can I come in there, Cushy?
Yeah,
I think there's a conspiracy at governing bodies that they've riddled with yes men. I mean, that's the facts of the matter. Do you think there's a conspiracy against them?
It doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't. They've got Peter Lawwell in there who had to excuse himself from the board meeting. They've got. They have put Celtic-minded men in all the positions in the SPL and the SFA that they possibly could over the last 7 years. But it's irrelevant. They will not listen to that argument. All they will think is, on the face of it, they have been done an injustice, and it is some kind of Masonic conspiracy. And that's all you get. And that is all you get from them. And they won't be dissuaded. And unfortunately, the board just play into their hands with this and just go along with what their support want and put out these statements.
Can I just say,
see this big Masonic conspiracy? We made the right pig's ear the last 6 years, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. Can I just say that the headlines in the papers are saying that it's not fair, right? Hearts versus Celtic Cup semi at Murrayfield is unfair, and the Jambos could have an advantage, says Brendan Rodgers.
and of course the rebuff to that would be from Hearts to say that, well, if we play at Hampden, Celtic used to play there when their ground was getting renovated. They've played there many times. You've got the advantage.
Just for the record, there's more Celtic players in the current first team squad played at Murrayfield than there is Hearts players.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
It's a load of crap, isn't it? I think
it really is. It's shocking. It's shocking that our game's getting dragged all the way down to the level it's at. I thought it was pretty low before, but you've now went down a different level entirely. I mean, you're down at the subway level here.
Is there any wonder that down south Scotland looked upon as a footballing backwater, and then they wonder, that you're forever listening to them complaining and moaning and whining about, they don't take us seriously down south. Well, look at this debacle. Why would they take you seriously if this is the best you can do in one of our cup competitions?
Well, this year, as I think, we've moved on now from sporting integrity to, if the SPFL or SFA tell you what to do in terms of when you're playing your games, you are now, and I quote the Celtic statement on this, subordinate to a diktat, right? So what they're basically saying is that anything that the SPFL or SFA now tell us to do in terms of times for games or where we're playing it, we are now subordinate to a diktat, right? And that is absolutely shocking, because what you're saying there is, I'm not listening to the SPFL board, which is the board you're actually a part of, and that your chief executive is actually a member of. That you're not going to listen to them, and you're not going to do what they say, because you feel, and the only reason for it is that you feel that there's some kind of conspiracy against you. It is truly childish and pathetic.
Don't forget the Masonic conspiracy, yeah.
It's like anything. If you spoil a child for long enough, they expect everything, and when you don't give them something, they come out gurning, ranting and raving, and that's what's happening with stuff.
You're a very wise man, Ulster.
Well said, Ulster.
I wonder how long it'll take Hearts and Mr. Levine and Has the Aberdeen chairman said anything yet? Because I thought I heard somebody saying...
The trains go off at 5:30. They're going to miss it last time.
It's actually madness because Scottish football should be trying to... What you want to do with the Scottish game is obviously branch it out to as many people as possible. You've got people across the Irish Sea on both sides. You've got people down in England. That's probably more so for Rangers that book flights. Now that's all went down, because of especially the late boat as well coming back, especially for us, for our side. So it's a bit of an embarrassment. I was actually listening to a show last night. Shouldn't have listened to it, but I did because it's tobacco, so I thought it'd be funny. I'll not quote the name of the show, and they were saying that they don't think this has harmed the Scottish game or the brand of the Scottish game. And you know what? I actually agree with them. Not for the same reasons that they thought. I just think they can't actually make it any worse. You're talking about people who went and agreed a deal not so long ago to show their national game overseas and came back with a measly £2 million and tried to come back to the Scottish people and the fans of Scottish football so it was something to celebrate. That's how pathetic they are.
The trouble is also, if you're insular and parochial, it's very hard to see yourself as insular and parochial. And that's exactly what a football game is.
Yeah.
You're also a wise man, mate. You're also a wise man. But heads should roll for us, Cushy, and I don't care because the people there's somebody in that league who will be sitting planning the logistics or the organisation of the cup competition. That'll be their baby. And to get it so wrong, mate, and to cause so much uproar, and potentially, I believe it's going to end up costing about $500,000, heads have got to roll. McLennan, Doncaster, clear their desks, get out there and get new blood in.
I totally agree. I think it's, I think we've had the same faces in power in Scottish football for far too long, and not just at the top. And I think we could do with some resignations over this. It's been handled absolutely abysmally, and it's not the first time. And let's be honest, this is not this is an easy issue that could have been resolved. It shouldn't even have been an issue in the first place. And yet, to let it become like this is just a disgrace. Yeah, I totally agree. I think Neil Doncaster's position, I think, is absolutely untenable.
But haven't we managed to hang on? He's managed to hang on in there every single time. One in it, he messes up.
Because he knows where the bodies are buried, mate.
Aye. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we know why he's in. We know how we got the job in the first place. So, as I said earlier on, they've riddled the governing bodies with these people who are absolutely incompetent. You wouldn't expect some of these people to run a corner shop, in my opinion, and they're running our government. You know what I mean?
Rudy, that these things there are certain things happening or have been happening to them across the city since the start of this season. In reality, but there's not a single club involved in any of it. It's all their own making. Yeah. They don't know what they're doing. They've got placemen everywhere, and the placemen aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. And they can say it's bad luck. You can say whatever you want, but things are not happening for Celtic for them in the same manner as it did over the last 2 years and the 4 years previous to that as well. It's just the wee thing was in the right positions. Well, somebody's moved those positions or taken the placemen out and replaced them by somebody else. Because that's what it feels like they're doing. Nothing's going for them. They can't even fix a two-match process. They can't fix that. I don't mean fix it right. I just mean fix it. But put their own fixes in it and get it done. Where do we want to play? We want to play in Murrayfield and want to play Murrayfield at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But we'll not tell anybody. And all of a sudden it happens like that. And I don't want that. That's the wrong one. Bah, 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 bah. They're just rubbish. Just absolute rubbish. I hope they all get bombed out of Scottish football. Bombed out. Sorry,
I think it's simple. Like, if competent people, if you think there's an issue that could possibly come your way, the first thing you do is plan for it in the unlikely event that it's going to happen. They haven't looked at it. They didn't expect us to get through as far as this. We eventually did. And instead of looking at it then and going, right, we need to put plans in place in case both these teams avoid each other. They haven't done it. They've fingers crossed the whole way, hoping that we probably get put out, or Celtic get put out so we don't meet each other. And then even on the night of the draw, they were still fingers crossed, maybe they'll meet each other. Maybe they'll meet each other. We'll not have to worry about this issue. Instead of having the plans in place long ago, and all of this would have been resolved, sorted, and you'd have moved on. But unfortunately, the ones who run the game couldn't do that. Now they look like the clampets that they are, and I think it's time for them to go. They've made enough errors, and this one's the biggest one so far. So I think they should just pack their bags and let us move on with our game.
I would really be interested. I'd really be interested to hear what Fox has got to say. He's stayed quiet, mate. Fox.
I think it's just the latest in a long line. Absolute cock-ups, mate. Right when, especially coming from the other side of the city, mate. They go into power behind Scottish football, and a lot of clubs have stood back and let them get to that position where we were doing in the lower leagues. I don't know, I'm beginning to think that this is quite a good thing, that this has come out like that, for the sake of, for the first time probably, as long as I can remember, Hearts are standing up for their rights, Aberdeen are standing up for their rights instead of just bowing down and accepting it. And maybe they are putting pressure on this SPFL board that there needs to be change. Rangers are staying out of it because I don't think we've got a dog in the fight. We're quite happy to play wherever it is. But it all comes down to one thing, mate. The people on the SPFL board were hand-placed there. They've made an absolute shithole of Scottish football over the last 6 years, and they all need to go. We need a new board that represents the clubs fairly. We need to start running Scottish football to suit the fans and not just to suit the clubs. We're the customers, and we get moved for Sundays, 12:30, Saturday afternoons, 12:30, all to suit the television for a paltry sum of money. And even that they can't do right. For me, there's only one solution, that they've got to take those that's made an arse yet off the SPFL board. Doesn't matter what club they represent, get them all to F, I would say, you know.
Oh, very strong for your Fox there.
Very strong indeed.
But I'm going to say, I tend to agree with him, Rudy Bear.
Absolutely. Was it Barry Hearn? Came up and absolutely ripped them to shreds, didn't he? Said they were amateurs, and he's right. I couldn't have put it any better myself. No, without using a few sweary words, you know. He was right. They are amateurs. They're rank amateurs, and they've proved it time and time and time again. And this is one of their biggest cock-ups, as Fox has just said there. And it's time to clear the decks now. And for a start, I don't know why we need two governing bodies. That's obviously something, you know, maybe a different debate, a different night. But two governing bodies for me is certainly not needed any longer in the modern game. So that'd be the first place. That'd be the starting point for me, rather. I'd get rid of the two governing bodies, I'd merge them into one, and I'd get rid of half of the absolute amateur chancers that we've got running our game in this country, Ox. That would be a start.
I think it was Ox here that was saying earlier that Hearts have come out, or maybe it was Foxy. Hearts and Aberdeen have stood up for themselves here, and Rangers have sort of been taking a back seat, which I'm really delighted with. I don't want Rangers to mention this at all, other than LOLs and statements, you know. But no, let them go on with it. Let them do what they need to do. Let them stand up for themselves and fight the good fight against the bad people, and we'll see what happens. And I think that woman, what's her name?
Budge.
Budge. She's done a bad job in fighting her corner, to be honest. And the Aberdeen are doing what the Aberdeen do when they need to fight. So let's see what happens in the very near future, because a big decision's got to be made. And I think it was Cushy. Was it Cushy was saying earlier on that there's going to be lawyers' letters coming out on this? So you just don't know. Oh no, it was Jimmy Van Ives, JFK. He was saying that it's not finished yet, so we need to wait and see. Keep your powder dry.
See, when you were talking about lawyers there, mate.
Yeah.
This is a new thing they've brought into the game, name across the city. When the players go up in front of the board after a sending off, etc. They started turning up with 3 and 4 lawyers. It used to just be the agent and his lawyer and probably a member of the club. And what they were doing, mate, was saying that they would take the SFA and that to court. The SFA didn't have the money to fight anything, and that's why they get away with so many decisions. Rangers, I've heard, are starting to do the same now, and that's how we've been lucky enough to probably, they've backed down a bit on Morelos and Alan McGregor, etc., when they were going up in the charge. They have brought everything into this game name across the city, for religion right up till the present day, mate. It's a game of football, for God's sake. All this political meandering about for me is a load of crap, and it needs to be sorted out quickly, or this game is dead in this country.
Well said, Foxy, well said. Can I just say, Foxy, there's a Padge put in the lobby here, talking to one of his dad's...
Wait a minute, one subject...
Oh, sorry, I was just going to say about Dundee United.
You can't read out everything Padge puts in the lobby, mate. We would be here all night. One subject at a time. There's no a story there yet.
You don't?
There's not a story there yet.
Okay.
I'm saying.
Well, I was just going to ask if anybody's heard about it. No, you haven't heard about it then.
One subject at a time. All right?
Okay.
That's you tell.
Okay.
All right. And I don't like doing that because you're too big. Right. Look, this is something that if they don't get it right could happen again with the fixtures. So they're going to have to sit down, and it should never happen again now. Cushy and then Bridge.
Well, it shouldn't happen again. If we change the personnel and learn the lesson, it shouldn't happen again. Whether it does actually or not, I wouldn't put it past Scottish football. Well, for what I've seen the Scottish football, it's the boys touching the word earlier on. It's just complete amateur hour. So, it shouldn't happen again. We should learn the lessons. We should get right personnel in place. They should simply look at the calendar ahead and plan for the worst case scenario rather than the best case scenario. And that would be it.
What did you say there? Did you say the calendar ahead?
Yeah, look at the calendar ahead. And
is that a new invention? Is that a new invention? Something that's just happened in the last couple of weeks, or have we had that since the summer? I'm just asking, Cushy.
Yes, well, it's been around for a long time, calendars. So yes, let's look ahead. Let them look at the calendar, see what's happening, and plan for the worst case scenario, not the best case scenario, and then put their head in the sand. I think the place will be a whole lot better.
Bridge?
Yeah, I can't disagree with Cushy. I think the calendar he's talking about is standard project management calendars that they've got out there. They put the event in, it's going to happen, and here you are. What are you going to do? How are you going to what's the conditions you're putting in against it? And the worst case scenario should always be put in. So what's going to happen then? How long is it going to take to fix? And so on and so forth. What do we need to do to make it happen? I'm quite sure they've got football software all over the world that controls all these things. That's how they get cup draws and God knows what to work properly. We can't do it. We don't appear to be able to do it.
Kids football have to draw up with half-term weeks when kids are available.
Absolutely.
It's not a new
thing. Yeah. It's just incredible. It's just incredible that it's fallen, the way it's fallen. And, I'm actually thinking what Jimmy was saying earlier about this not being finished. I wouldn't be surprised if we're still talking about this next week. I wouldn't be surprised.
Surely they couldn't make a third decision on this, could they? I mean, I wouldn't put it past them in all honesty, but surely no. I mean, surely they've made this decision now. Surely they've got to stick to this now. I mean, it was a cock-up the first time. Probably the decision that they've made now is the decision that should have been made first time. But Big Ulster done it in 30 seconds last week. He sorted it out. He said, you pick the 4 teams out, you've got the 2 ties, you then pick Hampden or Murrayfield out and say, right, that tie's playing at Hampden, that tie's playing at Murrayfield. It's done there, you've got the transparency, and it's done in front of everybody. Everybody sees what happens, so there can be no arguments. So surely they're not going to make a third decision on this and change it again. I mean, it's bad enough, it looks bad enough. It looks bad enough to everybody who's watching this and reporting on it. To change it again, it would just, I mean, you may as well just lock the shop up and get home, in my opinion, then, if that's the case, because that's laughable.
Absolutely, Rudy.
I don't know.
That's three of the major players in the semi-finals of the Cup have moaned their head off for whatever reason, and they're still moaning. Some of them are still moaning, and the only ones that's not said anything about it in reality, other than we'll play what we're going to get told to play, is the Rangers, and that's driving them across the city absolutely apeshit. That's the truth.
Big Ulster. Only Scottish football could have two glamour semi-finals and make a mess of it. Let's be honest about it. It's true, isn't it? There's two great ties.
It is. It's a fantastic advert for the Scottish game. They have Rangers vs Aberdeen, which is historically has been a fantastic tie, especially the old games that I've watched as well, at Hampton Park, etc. It's always thrown up cracking games, historic games. And then you've got obviously a really, really informed Hearts side that haven't probably done as well as this in the league for a long time playing that mob. It's two glamour. It's probably as big as you'll get in Scottish football, to be fair. Two glamour ties, and they've made it an absolute laughing stock. I know, as you agree with you, only Scottish football could do it.
Do you think it's finished, Rudy?
It's hard to say, but I can't. Surely they can't. Surely they're not going to get round the table this lot and then decide, I tell you what, let's change it again. Surely no. I mean, it looks bad enough already. It looks bad enough. The way they've gone about it, it's just shambolic and amateurish. But to change it again, I mean, no, I can't see Ox. As bad as they are as administrators, and they're rank amateurs as administrators, surely they can't change it again. Now, that'd just be too much. That'd just be the tipping point for me. I'd just close the whole shop up as far as the SFA and the SPFL are concerned.
Tipping point, I'm a Chase man myself. But I'll say it again, and just my last point on it, and I'll let you finish up on it. Heads have got to roll. Bridgman, then Cushy.
I don't think the heads will roll, but they should. You're absolutely right, they should. 100%. Take every one of them, tip them down the Clyde somewhere. Just dreadful what they're doing to Scottish football, just dreadful. I'm just so happy and pleased and relieved that we are really not involved in this, really. That's how bad they are.
Cushy?
I agree with the sentiment in terms of heads will roll, but I think they've now made their decision. There's only one club now in Scotland that is not appears to be happy with the decision that the governing body has made. So while I think the ties will go ahead the way it's been released tonight, I certainly don't think we'll have heard the last of Celtic's whining.
No, they've been at it for nearly 120 years, mate, so they're not going to stop now.
Leopard never changes its spots, mate.
Ulster.
Just my last point on it. If they're going to change it a third time, why not just go full shambolic and just do winner stays on? Because that's how pathetic it is.
He's got a point. He's got a point.
It's that. I can't see how Doncaster can survive after this. I really can't. I mean, I know we've said this before about him. He's like the Teflon Doncaster. It amazes me that guy's still in that position. And the fact that he got that position at the SFA was just absolutely laughable. He should never have got a position at the SPFL. We all know why and how he got it. When the vote came up between him and Longmuir, Alan Longmuir was an excellent administrator. That was the man for the job. But we know why they didn't want Longmuir. And we know why Doncaster got it. And it's laughable that they're now coming out and whining about a man that they wanted in that position. So it is. That's the annoying thing for me. They've put him in there and now they're whining about it.
Anyway, lads, listen, thanks for the debate. Thanks for the way you've conducted yourself. It's just Pro-Code Sky Sports News as a story. Bridgman, last word for the evening.
Oh, what a night, eh? What a night. What a last half hour, 3/4 an hour there. Just amazing. The content was tremendous. The atmosphere really good in here, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the discussions. Everybody was really good. Great input from everybody. Can I just say this to other Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio? Every single one is, as we've seen with all the crap that's happening tonight, as we've seen, everybody keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really, really need us. Keep it going.
Can I thank everybody for taking part tonight? Can I thank the Bridge, Cushy, Fox, Rudy Bear, Big Ulster, and of course GFK, who's no, I was going to say no longer, but this is a bit dramatic, who's left the call. GFK, who's left the call, but can I put a shout out to Old School Blue for all the great work he does for our site? It's much appreciated. Old School Blue, who keeps us all going. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, hopefully with a pre-match show. Look forward to seeing hearing from everybody then. Take it away, Fox.